Alright, so now we're in episode 115 of LEGO Marvel Avengers, and we come to Washington, D.C., and we're going to start things off real fast by going into a race and racing. As you'll notice, we've shown up in D.C. on Inauguration Day. I'm sure everybody can recognize why that is. So we're going to just follow Spitfire, who, of course, is appropriately British. Yeah, maybe not the best choice here. I guess I could have gone with something more appropriate. I don't know who that would have been off the top of my head. Quicksilver wasn't particularly portrayed as anything American. Maybe one of my created characters would have been a better fit. Anyway, we're bouncing around the Lincoln Memorial, and now we're going to be unlocking stuff here in Washington, D.C., but we have already done some of that before because we went through and we did all the British characters, and we also went ahead and unlocked Captain America Sam Wilson. So if you want to see those things, you have to go back up further into the playlist. But for right now, we have finished the race, we got ourselves a gyrocopter, and we can now move on to the next mission. And so now we're going to go check in here with Blazing Skull.
I mean, who's going to believe the innocence of a guy? But I swear, it wasn't me. Please, you got to help me. Kind of wish the Skullman had warned me about this sort of thing.
All right, I don't really know who Blazing Skull is. He seems like a Ghost Rider kind of knockoff, but he wants us to put out some fires. I'm not really seeing the fires right away, so let's go double check with okay. Ah, there we go. Need some red target markers. So now we can go and try to locate those. And here's the Lego version of the Lincoln Memorial, and we can't put out fires, unfortunately, with the Iron Patriot. I guess we could set off a napalm blast or something and try to eat all the oxygen and create a firestorm, but that would kill a lot of people. Although it would get rid of the fire. Alright, so we're going to use the created character here with the Loki staff. I'm not sure I would have him carrying that much beard if I was to have created him today. Now we're going to send the Hulk all the way across, just because he moves a little bit faster. We don't have to, since we can't fly right at the moment, or flying character is not really going to help us. Right, so here we are again. We're going to go ahead and knock out this part and freeze the Hulk while we're at it, because he got in the way. And so now we just have one more place to go, and we will once again use the Hulk for a little added speed to get there. Yep, and here we go. And nothing like getting somewhere and then having to go and get there again. But, you know, that's just the way things go sometimes. All right, that looks like a Human Torch hiding back behind some more fire. So I guess he has been the guy who's been behind the fire all along. So we'll make one more run up the side of the mall with the Hulk. Douse a few more flames, and that will be it. If you're watching this episode on the day it was put out, it is April 12th. April 12th is one of those days in history that you get a lot of things that sort of happen on the same day, particularly as relates to the United States. April 12th is the day in 1861 when the Confederate forces decided to fire on Fort Sumter, thus starting the military phase of the Civil War. April 12th, 1776 was the date the North Carolina state Congress. I'm not really sure what. I can't remember quite what they were called at that point. They voted to approve of voting for independence in the first state delegation to do so. April 12th, 1961 was the first man in space, Yuri Gagarin, being sent in the Russian Vostok capsule to complete one orbit of the Earth. And in 1981, 20 years later, the first space shuttle launch occurred on this same day. In 1945, April 12th marks the death of Franklin Roosevelt. And something that I ran across, but it could have been that I missed the date. I saw this on someone's Facebook post, so you might have to go do some research, double check, but I think we're good here. That April 12th is also the date of the fall of Constantinople in the Fourth Crusade. And of course, the Fourth Crusade is when, if the line between what the Crusades were actually trying to accomplish wasn't blurry when they started, the Fourth Crusade it just got they didn't even pretend anymore. I mean, there wasn't even really a religious target. The Dukes of Venice just wanted to stop having to compete with the emperors in Constantinople for trade in the Mediterranean. There are some other things that happened on April 12th, and they're not coming to me right now, but there's like a whole laundry list. I mean, if you look at it, as far as, granted, you have enough years go by and every date becomes meaningful in some way, but it seems like this one just has a bunch of stuff going on for it. All right. So now, if we want access to this chest down here, to get this next character token, we need somebody to go up top and press that button. So we'll have Shuri stand on the thingy, and we'll see if we can get Iron Patriot to fly up and quickly get to that button before it resets. And there we go, we got it, and there is the character token for Diamondback. I think it's a Luke Cage character, but I could be wrong about that. But we're going to head back out of the memorial here and head toward another quest. We're going to talk to Mr. Nova here. I'm not sure which Nova this is. And I don't know what voice actor this is. I guess if I knew the voice actor, it might give us a hint, because if it's the same voice actor as in the Ultimate Spider-Man show, then it would have to be Sam Alexander. Alright, so we're fighting Iron Fist, which doesn't seem right, and that's because it's not. He's actually a clone. And clone Iron Fist is actually far more effective at jumping and using his special attack than the other villains we've seen. But there was also, I also recorded this footage. This is kind of after a break, and so I'd kind of forgotten how to roll. Not a good thing to forget when you're dealing with these boss fights. So we had that problem. Here's the clone of Kamala Khan, the current Miss Marvel. So we're having to fight her and her various inhuman powers. And then Just another hit. Unfortunately, she's going to get one more of those off. And then our final challenger is another Nova. I was never, wasn't a particularly big fan of Nova from the way they portrayed him in the Ultimate Spider-Man TV show, but then again, I wasn't really a big fan of the way they portrayed anybody in the Ultimate Spider-Man TV show. So, you know, that's, you don't see me going out of my way to be Nova. Although, in theory, I haven't unlocked him until right now. Next episode, it could be an all-Nova episode. It could happen. Yeah, I don't think so. But hey, the only way to find out is to see you then. Bye-bye.